events that we went to was a Vespers service at St. George's Orthodox Church. And it was just a really cool service. We got to see how the Orthodox do their services, which is vastly different than how the Protestant Lutherans do their service. And afterwards, they had this cool Vespers dinner, and we got to talk to Father Nick, and he is the main priest there. And it turns out that he's actually very interested in gap years. So we spent most of the evening talking to him about how alt year works and how he might be able to set up a gap year program for his church. And then later that week, we actually saw him 3 more times just to talk about his faith journey and how alt year works and what we're doing. So that was a really cool event, and it was so educational.
This conversation-y time, I received approval for endorsement and am able to officially continue on with the process, which makes me very happy. And after that, on that day, it was also Pastor Nate, who is pastor at my home church, Olivet Lutheran, for his installation to be head pastor, and it was very exciting. It was a celebration not only of the information I had just received, but also him being affirmed in his call and position at Olivet. And I just really enjoyed being able to support him and his family, but to also reconnect with all my pastor friends who were there supporting Nate, and it was great times and celebrations for everyone.
And for April, our theme was Resurrection and Reformation, to tie in with the whole season of Easter. And one of the things we got to do is a Bible study led by one of the pastors of one of the downtown churches here, Mike Hank. And he led it on the life that Martin Luther leads after he's nailed the 95 Theses. We looked at those, but also what he does for the community that he's in and how he goes about changing that community and how that affected the poor in the area, which is something that has been Mike's main concern, especially with the part of town that his congregation exists in. And it was a really good chance to look at how different cultures and times have addressed the needs of the poor.
So Mark Miller, the director of Evangelical Mission for the Northwest Ohio Synod, took us to Put-in Bay, and he was trying to feed the birds. And he brought bread with him because apparently the last time he had went, the birds would just grab the bread out of the sky. So there weren't that many birds. There was a seagull or 2, and he decided to start throwing his bread. So he threw a piece of bread, and the bird just pooped on it, and it fell out of the sky. Yep. That's what happened.
It's really difficult that things are coming to a close. I think that I'm going to miss this place a lot, and I look around at all of people and all of the places that we continually get to journey to, and I'm thinking, dang, we're going to be starting to say goodbye soon, and this isn't going to be very easy. But I guess it's a really good thing that we're able to have so many good memories here, that we want to stay, and that we want to be able to continue this journey. And I guess that there will be ways to bring the journey of alt year to other places, such as by remembering that context and community can happen in any context in which you go to. And I really look forward to that as I go back to Minnesota in the coming month.
Once a month, St. Paul's Council, which is the church where alt year is hosted out of, they have a council meeting, and sometimes alt year will prepare a meal for them. So this time we were pretty busy here in the month of April, so we decided, okay, let's just do it youth group style. Let's just get some pizzas. We can get some of those big old like cookie cake things, and then we'll serve it to them. And it'll be both easy on the wallet and also kind of easy on our manual labor, kind of getting everything together. So I went with Melissa to Pizza Hut, and we got a whole bunch of different pizzas. I think it was maybe 12 or something. It's a big old stack of pizzas. And so we were coming out, and she was carrying them with her, and I figured, okay, we'll just kind of like divide them up into smaller stacks and just kind of throw them in the back. She's got the whole kind of stack of 12 of them, and she nestles them in the back seat. She takes, I kid you not, she takes the seat belt and wraps it around the pizzas and buckles in the pizzas so the pizzas are safe in the ride to St. Paul's council meeting. There's a good reason why we call her the mom of all year.
Separate the two themes, because we think of Reformation as the time when Luther pounded the 95 Theses on a church door. I think that the two themes combine rather well when we think of Reformation as a form of transformation that takes place as a result of the resurrection. As the result of the resurrection, we have freedom from sin and new life. That's a transformation, if there is any.
When you're sort of forced, I guess, into living in a space with people that, we don't get to choose who is in our alt year. And I think that's what actually made our connection even more enmeshed.
It was just so different just having you there, because then everyone was cheering each other on, and it was a much better feeling. And that was just really cool to hear. Like, we really weren't doing that much. I mean, I really suck at bowling, so it makes it a little bit easier not to be competitive, but it was just...
It's just really strange because it's starting to hit those feelings of this is actually starting to end. And it's been a wild ride. It's been fun.
We were able to continue to share the alt story with those who have already connected in with our group, but then also to share the story with others who might not have ever heard of this thing called alt before. So it was just a really exciting time in the month.
It's been really helpful to have a group of people to bounce ideas off of as I get closer to trying to figure out what I'm doing as the next step. And so it's been good to be able to have these 5 other folks to talk to and really figure out where I'm going. And they've been super helpful and super supportive, and I really appreciate it.